Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller. And that, just forgot what I was saying already. That means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today's Monday, October 20th, I think. This is 5 days worth of sales on eBay only. Later on today, which will get posted tomorrow, I'm gonna package up my Poshmark stuff. There's 8 items here. They're all kind of like bread and butter. The first, I don't know. It was okay. It was an okay week. This is a really lightweight sweater by Banana Republic. It's new. It doesn't have tags. Well, I guess it does have like the sticker thing, but it did have some flaws on it, so I listed it at $15 and someone offered me $7, and I went ahead and took that. My sales have been really low, so I am just kind of taking offers and trying to move stuff. So Banana Republic is definitely a bread and butter brand for me. For me, that means something that's going to sell for about $15 in profit and sell within about a year. Most of these items that sold today, or over the past 5 days, sold for about, or sold in about 4 months or less. So I think, yeah, this was the longest. Not, I mean, understandably, because it was flawed. And it took 4 months to sell. So today I am using primarily reused shipping materials, trying to get through. I have a backlog of those and I'm just trying to get through them here. So I do wrap everything in tissue paper, which I'm just about out of. And I add a thank you sticker, and I don't think any of that is necessary. So if you are not reselling yet because you're worried about having all the things that you need to make your packages perfect, you can just reuse your Amazon packaging or your neighbor's Amazon packaging or your mom's or my sister just gave me a whole thing last week that she saves for me. You don't have to have all the things, is what I'm trying to say. Hold on, I need to find something specific for this next thing. I didn't tell you anything about that. It sold for $7. Where did it go? Here it is. $12.99 was what they paid with shipping. It sold in 8 months. I bought that at a liquidation store. I didn't notice the flaw until I got home. I only paid 50 cents for it. I think there was a whole rack of sweaters that they had priced at like 50 cents or something. Again, it was 8 months ago, so I don't remember exactly. My profit's $5.45. Obviously, that didn't quite hit that $15 mark, but because it was flawed. I think if it hadn't been flawed, I would have sold it for probably more, around $20. I'm looking for... All right, I don't have them. So, it's okay. What am I gonna do? Shoot. Let me look in here a second. Look at my sister's stuff. Okay. You're probably like, what is happening with this chick? She's going nuts. It's true. I am going nuts. But not about this. Okay. This next item, I got a phone call. Not a phone call. A message. People are not calling me. I promise. Okay. Let me show you. And then move on. This is like a Y2K style maxi dress. Really cute. Black, yellow, floral. Has a nice high slit on the end. This is lace here. It's really cute. It's smocked on the back. This is No Boundaries, which think is a Y2K brand. Anyway, I got a message last night. I almost said phone call again. I got a message last night saying, can you ship this any faster? My wife wants to wear this on Friday. I said, I'll pay extra for the shipping. So I have calculated shipping on my eBay store. And I actually have options. So the first option is ground advantage, which 90% of the time, 99% of the time is what people choose. And then, yeah, that's not flat rate. Okay, sorry. I also have an option for priority. And so I just messaged the gentleman back and said, yeah, there's an option for priority. When you go to checkout, you should be able to choose expedited shipping. And so he did that. And so what I was trying to see is when Poshmark, because very rarely do people pick priority on eBay, when Poshmark changed their shipping a couple weeks ago, I just got rid of all my priority envelopes and stuff. And so I was like, shoot, what am I gonna do? But I do know that I kept this roll of priority mail stickers. So I am just going to put priority mail stickers all over this so that the post office will know that it's priority, since it's not in the priority envelopes. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Just decorate the whole thing. Okay, so this dress I had listed for $29.95. That's what they paid, full price. With shipping, they paid $40.37 total. Like I said, they paid extra for expedited shipping. Let's see, I kind of want to put more stickers on it. Just because I want to make sure they get it in time. Just wherever. All right, that's pretty decked out. Okay, I think, okay, I got a spot right there. It needs another sticker. Okay. After fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $22.71. I bought this at just a local thrift store for $2.50. Just kind of going off of style. And it's been listed for 6 months. It does look like I sold it and it was returned. Maybe. Or I had 2 of the exact same dress. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a little gator hood combo. I believe it's called a balaclava. I don't know if that's how it's said, but this is the brand Walls, which is similar to Carhartt. Schmidt is another brand that is similar. And yeah, my mom gave me this. My mom gives me stuff to sell sometimes, and I went ahead and listed it. I would have bought it probably at the bins or one of my favorite thrift stores where my cost of goods is really low. Just because stuff like this does sell in my experience. I sold an outdoor research balaclava for like $40 and it sold really fast. This sold for $11. I had it listed for $15. I got, I think, an offer for $11, which is just like $1 less than what my 20% off offer would have been. And with shipping, they paid $18.59. Why is that so high? I mean, it's a little bit heavy. There's one that is real high, and I'll tell you why when we get there. Oh, it is going to California. So I live in Indiana, if you didn't know. So when I ship to California, it can be a little pricey. So because my mom gave this to me, I have zero cost of goods, and so my profit is $9.12. So thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. Love a little extra money in my pocket. Okay. I'll tell you. Well, let me show you this, and then I'll tell you. This is a Harley-Davidson snap-up shirt. I bought this at a yard sale. I just thought it was kind of cool. It has like, I used like 50s words because it has that look to me, like a, what words did I use? I don't remember. I had somebody ask me once why I don't like share my titles. And one is because I would have to write down the exact title, and I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to do that. Also, I don't know that my titles are very helpful. I say all the time I'm not very good at keywords. I'm getting better. I'm learning. My phone fell. I'm sorry. I'm getting better. I'm learning. It's one of those days. Rockabilly. That was the word I was looking for. Because I don't write them down, I don't remember them. And I don't know. I just, maybe they would be helpful. My store is linked in the description, so you're always welcome to go check it out if you are curious what my titles are. What was I going to tell you? I had this listed for $30. I sold it for $20.99, which is like 30% off. And I don't know how that happened because I send out offers. It must have been an offer that they sent me. I just didn't remember it being an offer that was sent. It was an offer. Anyway, $20.99 is what they offered me. I accepted the offer. They paid with shipping a total of $27.85. I spent $5 on this at the garage sale. That's probably a bit much, but it was pretty cool. And it sold in 4 months. After fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $13.05. Not bad. I will take it. So these are all brands, mostly brands, that I'm going to pick up to resell. I'm going to buy to resell, source to resell, however you want to say that, at about $5 or less. Most of them less than $5. They're things I'm going to find at the bins or the bins, which is the Goodwill outlet, or like my favorite thrift stores. This one came from my favorite thrift store. This is a really kind of interesting looking vest. It like has a flap in the front. I don't know. It's like a side zip, but it doesn't go all the way up. But it's the North Face. I thought this would have like a particular style, but I don't remember actually finding the style when I do Google Lens image searches a lot for my items. My phone fell again, and I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, you know what I was talking about? Google image searching. I don't remember. Anyway, I had this listed at $30, and the 20% off offer was $23.96. With shipping, they paid $34.66. I've had this for 4 months. Like I said, most of these were around that 4-month mark. I paid 50 cents at my favorite thrift store. After fees, shipping, and the cost of goods, my profit is $19.66. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you was I didn't have anything sell promoted, I don't think, which is interesting. 5 full days and nothing sold promoted. So to me, that means I need to readjust my promotions again. So what I do is kind of play around with them when something isn't selling promoted. So I think this last time it was 4%. I usually do anywhere between 3 and 5%, but I usually stay between like 3 and 4. So this last one, I'm pretty sure I put it at 4%. So I might bump it up to 5 just because I'm trying to make more sales. But I really honestly have never seen a correlation between like making my numbers higher and having more sales. It does seem to help a little bit when I adjust it, but not really significantly. So I'm not telling you what to do here. I'm just telling you what I do. All right. This is something that I don't find very often. And actually, I think 3 or 4 times I've found this brand has not been in my town. It's been when I was traveling. And this is a pair of just joggers, navy blue joggers. They're Outdoor Research. And I sold another pair of joggers. These are men's. They're called the Zendo. How did I find that out? I don't know. But it is called the Zendo. Zendo. There was a women's Zendo as well, and I sold those for about $25, I think. The balaclava I sold, that sold really fast, for I think $40. And I feel like I found one other Outdoor Research item. I don't remember. Anyway, none of those did I find in my town. If I found like outerwear, I'd be real excited about it, but this one for $25. I did have it listed for $40. Somebody offered me $25, and like I said, I'm really just trying to make sales because everything is slow. And I've talked about that. I'm not going to harp on it. I'm going to mention it and move on. This took 3 months to sell. I bought it in Roanoke, Virginia. Super cute city, by the way. If you've never been, you should go check it out. And they've got a couple, I don't remember the thrift store that I went there. Anyway, Roanoke, I spent $5 on it, and that makes my profit $16.55. So yeah, kind of really hitting right about $15 for every single one of those items today. Definitely in that bread and butter category for me. That just peeled right off. That rarely happens. Okay, cool. One thing, if you're doing reused shipping supplies, I always try to just make sure all the other barcodes are off. Apparently you're supposed to make sure like all the labels are off completely, but all right. When I bought these, I was excited about the brand. And then when I actually did my comps, the comps were really low, but this sold in less than 2 months. So it worked out. It worked out. But these are just a pair of leggings, and the brand is the Girlfriend Collective. I sold one other thing from that brand. I don't find it ever, really. I think 3 times total in 4 years. So this would not probably, and Outdoor Research too, would not really fall under my like regular kind of bread and butter brands that I would normally look for, but did kind of still fall into that bread and butter category for me as far as like how fast it took to sell and how much money I made. So I will tell you some bread and butter brands for me would be Carhartt, Torrid, the Lane Bryant, the plus size brands like Lane Bryant, Catherine's, Torrid, and then J. Jill is one of my favorites. Land's End, LL Bean, just kind of depending on what it is. Yeah, I think those are, I'm sure I have some more. Let me know if you have bread and butter brands that you look for. And if you have a different definition of bread and butter, what does that mean to you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know that. Okay, so the Girlfriend Collective leggings, like I said, when I got them home, I was like, the sell-through rate was terrible. I was like, okay, they are a 3X, and that was another thing that made me excited. But even with that size, it just, I was like, I don't know. But I had them listed for $25, and that's what they sold for with shipping. Get this weird. With shipping, they paid $31.66. Where was the one? I had one that was like the shipping was super high, and it's not these last two, so I must have missed it already. But it was going to Alaska. I don't remember which one it was. This one, whatever was before the last one. Very good at that. Okay, yeah, anyway. It's just, here we go again. Okay, let's get it together. Too many things happened all at once there. I looked at the, this package came to me, and I glanced down at the return address, and the name says really bored. It just, okay, anyway. Bringing it back around. Girlfriend Collective leggings sold for $24.95. With shipping, they paid for $31.66. They paid $31.66. They sold in less than 2 months. I did pay $7 for them. That's why I'm like, ugh. I should have checked comps before I bought them. But it worked to my advantage here. Even with that high cost of goods, my profit is still $14.33. I doubled my money. I got my original $7 back. They took less than 2 months to sell. I'm happy overall with that. So $14.33 was my profit. Okay. Last one. I did sell another one of this brand, and it sold faster, but kind of the same vibes. Very like boho, hippie a little bit. This is very textured, fringe, super cute little top. The brand, I don't know much about this brand. THML. This might have been, if I was choosing a brand to go through today, this might have been the brand I chose. I don't know, but I decided not to do brands today, and then probably for the Poshmark sales over the 5 days as well. But I listed this for $25. Someone offered me $15. Probably could have sold it more for $20, but again, I'm just trying to make sales here. With shipping, they paid $20.91. This did take 4 months to sell, but I bought it at a garage sale for 50 cents. And after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $12.25. My gross sales for the 5 days was $219.09, and my profit is $113.10. That again is just eBay. I did have a fair amount of sales on Poshmark and only one sale on Depop, but the one sale on Depop was really, really good. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and you can watch tomorrow's video and see my really, really good Poshmark sale. Not Poshmark sale, Depop sale. It's pretty cool. But it was big, and I had to find a box. But luckily I found one just kind of randomly around my garage, which is always nice. All right, did I tell you all the things? I think so. I took an unintended little break. My plan was to ship on Friday and do a video, and just didn't happen. I'm trying to remember. This actually might be I know it's Thursday's sales, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is it also Wednesday sales? Maybe this is just 4 days of sales, and I've been saying 5. I need to figure out if it was Wednesday sales or not. I don't remember. I feel like I shipped on Thursday, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, we had an event going on at our church that my husband and I are really involved with. And that was Thursday night, all day, Friday and Saturday morning. And so we, I had intended on shipping Friday morning, and it just didn't happen because I didn't sleep well, honestly. On Thursday night, I was like so anxious, but in like an excited way, anxious about the event on Friday. And so I didn't sleep well. So instead of getting up early and shipping, I just decided to not. And then I didn't have extra video. I think I was planning on doing like a haul video to kind of make up, because I knew I wasn't going to ship every single day that week. But anyway, it was kind of nice to take a little break. I think towards the end of last week, or the middle of last week, I kind of was talking, I was feeling a little discouraged, and so it was kind of nice to just take a little unintended break. So, but I don't intend to leave YouTube or eBay anytime soon. I really love doing this most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a little like, a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon.